clue why all you just come and ask me to speak on topics because all you will never agree with me and all you will never like me. Grab a snack like that a bit. All you want to know, what is my take on the NCW and Matara Bacana? And I have to tell you this. I have no NCW and Matara Bacana. Let me go again. All you ever hear the theory of the red ants and the black ants? You take red ants and black ants and you put them to live in a bottle of jar together. They get in air, they get in water, they get in everything that they need. And they live perfectly well in the corners. Nobody vexes with nobody. You take that same jar and you shake it. And those ants go to water the depths till you have a jar of dead ants. But it was living good. But guess who they vex with? The red ants vex with the black ants. The black ants vex with the red ants. And nobody vex with the person who shake the fucking jar. And this is a scenario of that. NCW made a political choice to join the UNC. The UNC then was successful in winning the elections. Other individuals also made the same choice to join the UNC, but did not get the favor of the UNC after their success. So then they became bitter, they become angry, rightfully so. If I go for you hard, and then you win the election, and then you're seeing other people getting through, they're getting things, other people, not the rest of the country, you know, just the people who went down for you hard. And they are getting no thanks in reward, no jobs, they're hungry in the house, they're suffering, and the rest of the country who did not go for you, that will cause bitterness. But you know who are they fighting? Not the government that not giving all they are not giving all the same benefits that they giving the others, you know. That they giving Matara, they giving anything. All they're busy fighting the other people who were successful and who are being rewarded. That making sense? That not making no sense to me. That making I don't do stupid shit.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Renaissance Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live on the Workers' Rights Network. Today, Trinidad, today is the 27th of the 6th month, 2026. And Trinidad and Tobago, today I come here to highlight a plight. And when the video would have been sent to me, Trinidad and Tobago, I had no other choice than to respond to the video. Or you somehow you feel that NCW hush mob. But I will give NCW a chance to explain everything he say in the court of law. But all for now, let's deal with the video that was just played. Now, the UNC Trinidad and Tobago. So good evening to everybody, all who are joining us here on TikTok, all who are joining us here on YouTube. Good night to everybody. Now it's 20 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. And I hate Trinidad and Tobago when people see our content outside and misinterpret the content altogether. Yes. So today I am here not to fight a black brother or a sister, but to deal with this situation in love. Because up till now, me and Ro Talk, me is not no enemy. Me and plenty of them who we attack here on this platform, that's just a statement. We is not enemies. And if I see them in the road and I hail them out and decide not to answer, so be it. That is how I just function. I attack the issues at hand. I don't attack people personality and things. If needs be, then so be it. So we have been witnessing here at Trinidad and Tobago several of these social media platforms and personalities are coming after us. They're coming after Trinity. They're coming after Chatter. They're coming after Candace. They're coming after Anaskanaman. And they are coming after us. Even Jason X. What we doing that is upsetting them? We are speaking the truth. So an analogy have been placed within the public domain that did not adequately describe the situation in synchrony. So what we are going to do here again is to replay the tape, because we're not after black brothers, we are here to correct some of the statements. And if they're talking stupidness, we are going to shine light on the falsehood that is being played or aired within the public domain without fear or favor. It ain't no friendship here, but love. Raw talk, Diamond Girl, she's not my enemy. But again, I have to respond to what was said, because at the end of the day, the black ants and the red ants, one of them was properly well fed. And the premise that the UNC would have won election on is that when UNC win, everybody win. But what take place after was a devious plan to cripple the black community. And we must see it for what it is. And when we are calling out everybody here on this platform, on our platform, on Anishkanaman platform, on Candace Edwards platform, and just now it go be others, go be shooting up, because at the end of the day, we ain't taking this at all. So before we go on to the full works, Trinidad and Tobago, I'd like to turn your attention and to the theme, a matter of fact, turn your attention to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Let us start from verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye might be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Satan therefore, having your loins girded, stand therefore having your loins girded with truth, and have on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all things, the shield of faith, wherein ye shall be able to quench the fiery dart of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the word, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Something that would have came from the Bible, Trinidad and Tobago. This was the Bible that my mother would have gave to me when I was 18 years of age. The attacks is going to come. They are going to come for us. But one thing they cannot destroy is the soul. And some of you are afraid. Yes, you will be afraid. But keep your eyes on Jesus. Let me play the video again, and we will come back on the back end and we will chop this thing up. Oh, you're playing this thing. It's a game, yeah. We answering all kind of thing here behind here. Let me play back the video because I want to come back with this analogy.
I have a clue why all they will come and ask me to speak on topics because all they will never agree with me and all they will never like me. Grab a snack, let it a bit. All they want to know, what is my take on the NCW and Matara Bacchanal? And I have to tell all of this. It have no NCW and Matara Bacchanal. Let me go again. All they ever hear the theory of the red ants and the black ants? You take red ants and black ants and you put them to live in a bottle or jar together. They get in air, they get in water, they get in everything that they need. And they live perfectly well in the corners. Nobody vexes nobody. You take that same jar and you shake it.
Right. So right here I'm going to stop because I want you to understand the analogy within itself wasn't correct at all because there are some influencers and there are some other influencers that ain't getting nothing at all. And the reason why I would have taken offense to that is this. I know what they call that in psychology. It's a common concept that is known as Taylorism, where it is you feed one set of people and you leave the next set of people hungry. So the one who hungry is going to turn on the one that belly is filled. So what the UNC government would have done to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially the black community, is that they keep a certain set underneath the wing to control those who gain. But it will reach to a point, Trinidad and Tobago, that it will be uncontrollable. And that is something that is the second part of the psychology they didn't take into conception. Yes. And they're coming here now with this black ants theory. Imagine that you put two black and red ants and you feed the black ants and you ain't give the red ants none. And you make the black ants feel, don't study them, leave them, they're hungry. What do you think go happen with the red ants? What do you think the red ants go do with the black ants? Oh, you're still in doubt. Let me bring that alleviation quick. Let me bring that alleviation quick that you could understand what is going on. It's only natural. Only natural.
We're just about out of patience. We're not going to ask anymore. If I ask a man, I tell a man I am hungry. I tell him I am cold. And I ask him to do something about my condition. And this man holds a loaf of bread right in front of me so I can see it. And I keep asking him, I'm begging him to please give me a slice of the loaf of bread. I am hungry. Then it is known by every psychologist that the next step in the progression is I am going to knock him upside the head and take the bread from him. I'm not going to starve to death. There's a limit to a man's patience, and everyone knows that what we're asking is not $1 million. What we're asking for is humanity. And God, you tell us that this is too much to ask. You're sick. You're definitely sick. How can you tell me that it's too much to ask to be a human being?
When UNC win, everybody win. When UNC win, the shutdown CPEP, the shutdown URP, the shutdown forestry, the raise fines, and they put a lot of you on the bread line. They raise the fines and bars. And some of you today is in abject poverty. And you are telling we, you are using certain members of the black community to shame we, to tell we hush we mouth. We shouldn't be talking because we should have been talking in the last 10 years. But that's why we vote out the PNM, because we fed up talk. And now underneath 2 years, Trinidad and Tobago just shy over one. The UNC would have taken away everything from us and sell out African. Them lick bottom ones and them that have no patriotism, that don't care once the belly full. Once heavy duty belly full, to hell with the listeners, because some of the listeners who is calling in and giving their contribution hungry. They can't eat. They know what's going on come September. They're begging. They're taking drop from the neighbor just to have the lights on. Yeah. Yes. But at the end of the day, when we talk about the issues, there are people that taking the story and misinterpreting it all together. And that is what I'm here today. That is why I'm angry. You're feeding one and you're destroying the other. When you ought to be a prime minister to be feeding Trinidad and Tobago, there are people that underneath the poverty line that are expecting and that is dependent on the government of this country. And what Kamala Prasad Bissessa is doing. Detention orders. Lock up. And it's one set of games. Yes, it's one set of games.
The Homeland Minister is entitled to his view, but the Hansard records, which is what I will always point the media to, the Hansard records show the position of the various independent senators and the suggested amendments that we had. So it would be useful to go back and see that, our thoughts were, we recognize that there is a challenge in terms of crime, and we recognize that something needs to be done, but we wanted to do our constitutional responsibility and ensure that there were some safeguards. So that is the only Hansard record.
Xander recently lamented the uptick in murders, in crime, etc., and saying, the opposition does not help the situation by failing to support crime-fighting legislation, right? You would have referenced the social bill. You want to share your thoughts with us on that, on the minister's position that the opposition has not supported the government in its crime-fighting legislative agenda?
I think the opposition's position is clear. We support sound legislation. We will not support legislation that seeks to unnecessarily suppress people's rights in the name of crime fighting. Bring good legislation and we will support it.
Unfortunately, the statement from Minister Alexander is infantile. And it is because if he's correct, then if you look at it this way, it's very simple. The Zozo was what? It was a joint operation between police and army in special areas. There were only two aspects that were different. One, you could have a curfew and a cordon, I'll put that as one. And two, soldiers could arrest. Take that now and apply it this way. What is stopping Minister Alexander from inviting the Commissioner of Police and the CDS to do a joint patrol anywhere in this country that is considered to be a zone, a hotspot, or anywhere, and have the police arrest people instead of the army? Absolutely nothing. So when you analyze what the Zozo was giving you and what you can do, his statement is absolute rubbish. If you wanted to effect a practical Zozo, very simple. Joint patrol, army and police. Police has the power of arrest. You can arrest without a warrant under our law in certain circumstances. You could effectively do a virtual cordon off by police presence. You could effectively have a curfew by having patrols out on the road. It is rubbish for him to suggest otherwise.
Every time a crime takes place, all they blame it on the Zone of Special Operation Bill. Right? So we're trying to tell me, police can't do their work without the Zones of Special Operation Bill.
Unfortunately, the statement from Minister Alexander is, his statement is absolute rubbish. His statement is absolute rubbish. His statement is absolute rubbish. His statement is absolute rubbish.
Our shores are open, our hearts are open, and you are safe to vet.
Every time a crime takes place, all they blame it on the Zone of Special Operation Bill. Right? So we're trying to tell me, police can't do their work without the Zones of Special Operation Bill.
His statement is absolute rubbish.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we reach a point here where we have been continually highlighting issues in this country, and there are people making it their duty to attack us, to attack our good works, to attack us for telling you it as plain as day. And raw talk, as I say, we's not our enemies. But don't misinterpret what we are doing here. What we are doing here is not that we going after one another. You know? What we are doing here is that we are highlighting the issues here. Regardless to who it is. The person could be pink. It's the manipulation of the populace is what we are calling out, and we are seeing that this government is using the black people, the black community, to carry out their dirty works against people of their own kind. That is what we are seeing, and we are calling it out. Because whether somebody do something wrong, it could be black, white, pink, red, we hold the option in calling them out. There ain't nobody from the black community, these activists and them, these leg bottom activists and them, ain't talking about the Joshua Samaru case. You ain't hearing that. You ain't hearing them talking about the double fines. You ain't hearing that. You ain't understanding. People is, boy, this government going too far. You ain't hearing people talking about that. But yet still, Trinidad and Tobago, you're seeing people trying to defend a government and not understanding that they are going too far. They are going too far. They are going too far in what they are doing. And before I go on, I want to play a piece from Jordan Peterson. It's the same logic. Since we know, since the UNC fanatics and them know that the PNM could go too far, at what point, Trinidad and Tobago, we are going to say that the UNC is going too far in what they are doing? At what point we are willing to stand up and say, hey, or you're taking this thing too far, boy? At what point, Trinidad and Tobago? At what point? At least the white man and them is civilized to ask that question. But how much of you, deep down in the party, is civilized enough to see what the UNC is doing and is willing to ask the question, or is willing to say, hey, Kamala, Rudal, Barry Padarat, Michelle Benjamin, Wayne Sturge, Roger Alexander, David Naked, Philip Edward Alexander. Or you're taking it too far? At what point we are willing to say that to this country? At what point?
So, yes. And so if we can agree, and we haven't, that the left can go too far, which it clearly can, then how would my worthy opponents precisely define when the left that they stand for has gone too far? You didn't like equity, equality of outcome. I think that's a great marker. But if you have a better suggestion and won't sidestep the question, so let's figure out how I can dispense with my white privilege, and so that you can tell me when the left has gone too far, since they clearly can. And that's what this debate is about political correctness. It's about the left going too far. And I think it's gone too far in many ways. And I'd like to figure out exactly how and when, so the reasonable left could make its ascendance again and we could quit all this nonsense.
Okay,
At what point, Trinidad and Tobago, at what junction are we willing to say to the UNC government, hey, or you're going too far, or you put Johan in the jail? At what point are you all you will say, or you're going too far? Or you put Olive Jack in the jail, no charges. At what point, Trinidad and Tobago, will you say that the UNC government is going too far? The shut down URP, the shut down forestry, the shut down CPEP, the slash food cards, the carry up your NIS, the carry up the age for the NIS. I mean for the NIS contribution. At what point we are willing to say that the UNC government is going too far? We all mount platforms before April 28, 2005, and we tell the PNM that they're going too far. At what point? After 2 years, after 3 years, at what point we are going to tell Barry Padarat he's going too far in the parliament? At what point in time, how much debts you want to see before that dunce Alexander? Kamala, you're moving from there. At what point we are going to say enough is enough and the UNC taking this thing too far? But here what you will do, you will send these political stillborns on them, like Lyndon Mack, to attack people on this platform. Missy Miss, to attack people on this platform and not answer the truth, because the other night they had stuck against the rope and he couldn't answer. He refused. He sidestepped. Yes.
If we can agree, and we haven't, that the left can go too far, which it clearly can, then how would my worthy opponents precisely define when the left that they stand for has gone too far? You didn't like equity, equality of outcome. I think that's a great marker. But if you have a better suggestion and won't sidestep the question, so let's figure out how I can dispense with my white privilege, and so that you can tell me when the left is too far, since they clearly can. And that's what this debate is about political correctness. It's about the left going too far. And I think it's gone too far in many ways. And I'd like to figure out exactly how and when, so that real left could make its ascendance again. We could quit all this nonsense.
Right. So good night to everybody. So the people on the panel, good night to you. Good night to the people on the panel who now joining us here from over on TikTok. So I believe we are Chatter online and we are Scorpion online. So good night to you, and what's your contribution here tonight?
Who you bringing up first?
Well, Chatter, well, you the man come up first, man. Let me hear what you saying concerning this whole situation. I know you was listening in the background.
Yeah, good night to you, Jeffrey. Good night to everybody on YouTube and on TikTok who listening, and everybody else around the world who listening, right? People like Raw Talk and NCW and the rest of them, the whole UNC bandwagon is a set of distraction. They're distracting the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago and taking them away from the real fact of what's really going on in the country. The unjust what the UNC government is doing. That is why the UNC government have these people and them there in place to distract the citizens and them of Trinidad and Tobago, right? And it's just like what you said earlier on. Look at the state of the country, what we're in right now. People are on the breadline, people are out of jobs. And when Stark came up there the other day, all he could say is, what about the last 10 years? What about any one of them you ask a question, they're bringing you back. So what about the last 10 years? People wasn't suffering. What about the last 10 years? You understand? We're talking about presently. That is why the reason why we vote all the PN and put all there because all they said, all they would have come and do a better job. You understand? All they said, all they would have carry down the road fines. All they said, all they would have deal with crime. Those was the promises the Prime Minister made. And when you all get in power, what you all did? Take a 360-degree turn and shit on the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And it's just like what you said, Jeffrey. When the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is going to get up and say enough is enough. Since this UNC government come in power, a police officer has been murdered in a station. Guns have been gone missing. How much children die? And the Prime Minister haven't come out and make an address, not even a condolences. Do we have a Prime Minister? Do Trinidad and Tobago have a Prime Minister? You understand? When last we see this lady came out and addressed the nation? You understand? When Dr. Rowley was there, he used to come out every week and address the nation. But no, they're sending out people like Mrs. Stacks, Raw Talk, you understand? To come out now to try to distract the people who talking the things and making the public aware of what's going on in the country. You understand? They don't want that. They don't want that at all. You understand? They want to silence we. And the next thing they're doing, anybody speak out. What's the real reason why they arrest Dominic Hadid and his wife? Because why? He speak about the taxes and them. You remember when he made that comment? And then after he got arrested?
Yeah, I remember.
So anybody speak out against this government, rich, poor, no matter what, because you see it now, they are very vindictive. They're going behind you. And you're being served a detention order. You understand? So we just had to stay silent, open your mouth, whatever shit they push down we throat, we had to take that for the next 5 years. And when the people will say enough is enough and get up and shut down this country democratically, when the people is going to do that? You understand? Look how much murders. I sure it's over 100,000 people right now on the breadline. School is going to close. There's children home, you had to feed your family. When school going and reopen, it have people who did exams. It have children who go into Form 1, their uniform, their books. You understand? It have children who going up in different classes. You understand? Where the family is getting this money from to fund these, to to feed their family and to do these things. Where the people and them getting this money from? And there are people like Kadisha Amino stand up in Parliament and said the PNM only had the citizens doing grass cutting. And when they get paid and they buy a bread, the money done. But Kadisha Amin, under the PNM, people could have still survived. People were still making 2 ends meet, as small as the money is. You understand? You take away a man bread and give him what? Nothing. That is all they're doing. All you take away a man bread and puffing up all your chest in Parliament and talking about, the UNC government paying the so-called what was supposed to be CPEP, we paying our laborer $250 something a day, right? All you could afford to do that, because I sure you hire less than 10,000 people under the PNM with the European, the CPEP is over 50 to 60,000 people was employed. So all you could afford to pay that, because all you employed less. And the people who was employed in these programs and them, half of them didn't get paid. People waiting 2, 3 fortnights, 5, 6 fortnights to get a salary. That'll work with their own tools. You shut down CPEP over a year and something, or people on the bread hand, but you telling a man, you giving a man a job, but you telling me he had to come with your own tools? Does that make sense, Mr. Jeffrey?
No. No,
So
that
where a man getting money to buy a waka, to buy a rake? You understand? And then after you had to come out there because you're going to face the hot sun, you had to get things to eat, you had to get things to drink, you had to get boots, you had to get screen. Where you getting money to buy these things? This UNC government is a wicked and evil government. And it's time for the people to get up and say enough is enough.
Yeah.
And let we come together and stand. Because united we stand, divided we fall. And we had to forget this thing where they're pushing with this race thing, everybody feeling it. Not one race feeling it, everybody feeling it right now. You understand?
Yeah,
My contributions.
Everybody feeling this thing with what is taking place. You see, we have to reach a point. No matter what these bloggers and them tell you, Trinidad and Tobago, no matter what they say to you, at what point they are going to say enough is enough? At what point? At what point they are prepared to tell the citizen, hey, we thought that the UNC would have done something different, and it looking to us that the plan to go down I must turn away. At what point? Look, I have a partner here who tell me the other day when he see me, he say he give them till August. I say, you still waiting till August? What you see in the day? You still waiting for night? You ain't seen how them people behaving within the parliaments of this country. You ain't seen Kamala Persad in want to keep a press conference. You ain't see in the parliament when they file the question, she don't even want to answer. Or you ain't seen the speaker of the house not even entertaining certain questions. At what point, Trinidad and Tobago, we are going to say enough is enough? At what point we go reach a point that we will hit the streets and shut down this government and call for the resignation? To hell with Kamala. To hell with Alexander. So what you feel it is? The thing about it is this, Trinidad. I ain't saying at the end of the day, I don't have respect for them. I'm not saying that I don't have respect, that I am not afraid to die. But you see what's going on in this country? I don't afraid no authority, because I know I am operating on the only authority that makes sense. My God-given rights. Candace, I see you on the live. What's going on?
Hi, pleasant good night, Trinidad and Tobago, to everybody on TikTok and on YouTube. And to everybody in the comment section, pleasant good night and welcome. I've been sitting here and I'm wondering what really taking place in this country. What really going on? What it is really going on?
Candace, before you go so far, I understand. I know you have your contribution. You will see that Raw Talk send a subliminal message to us in such a way that she crafted, but in even self explain it properly. that saying we against one another because the Pauline agenda shake it up. But she ain't saying that they feed one more than one and leave the next one hungry. She ain't saying that. She ain't saying that at all. She ain't saying that this government is so evil and wicked, decide to put thousands of people on the bread line. And we must stay quiet. You ever beat a child and say, oh, shame out after? Boy, this boy.
Mr. Jeffrey, I say this with a clear conscience. Let me tell you something. You see, how the old people they say it? You see, the fact that they come out and they start to attack our team is because here what's going on. You don't pelt stone behind a fruit tree that is not bearing fruit. Right? And you see the fact that they coming out and spreading all this kind of propaganda and trying to bring us down. As I told my team, we are not to answer to these people. They are trying to distract us because they realize a lot of people is listening to what we have to say. We speak the language of the people, right? We understand the language of the people. So if they had nothing they could say or they could do to distract us. And the people on the ground, they are the ones feeling the pain in their home and in their pockets. You hear what I'm telling you? That is why the other night I would have barred the gentleman from coming up. Because I know he's a snake in the grass. You see, these people and them only studying themselves, what they could get, what they could get to fix their business, but they're not studying the single mother with 2 or 3 children. They're not studying the single father. They're not studying the people who get sent home from CPEP and URP. Look, I think it's URP or County in Port of Spain. They don't know when they're getting money to pay these people for the next couple months to come.
Corporation, they know when they get, yeah.
Corporation. The country's in a crisis. And I don't know what it is, what it is they're trying to cover up when people don't see it as plain as day. So, the Miss Rotok, I have nothing against her. She possibly know how she bread buttering. The other gentleman with the big face, whom I really do not like, he knows how his bread is buttering. And the others. But what about the people who don't have? And the government seems to turn a blind eye towards that. As I always say before, we voted for change, Trinidad and Tobago. We didn't vote for all of this mayhem. It's mayhem, sadness, and sorrow that is taking place in this country, And yet still this government don't understand the pain, the pressure, and the sufferation that our citizens are going through, That it shocked me to hear that the government come out and say that we should help Venezuela, not what Venezuela is going to. Look today, my partner from Venezuela, he would have tried to reach out to me and ask for assistance. And I had to tell him, I said, bro, I can't even help you because I need for myself and my family. So you looking to send help for a country that don't want to have nothing to do with us because they are blaming us, They have we remind them people make all kind of memes, all kind of statue and beat Kamala picture in Venezuela. You think these people will help from Trinidad and Tobago? You think these people will want help from us after we are the ones that it is alleged we are the ones that have them in this mess? We don't have, instead of look to help us, fix us. Fix we first and then look to help the others. Your country come first, your people come first with the love. And only expect people to sit. Look, I just get so emotional, It is hard. It is hard. And the government that we put our trust and faith in, boy, and show them love. Look at what they're doing to us, boy. Look at what they're doing to us. You think that is right? It is not right, boy. It ain't right nowhere, no, they know how. So when I hear people like the guy with the big face and the Miss Raw Talk, I have nothing with she, and others and the Mr. and the Twiggy and all of them coming up and talking foolishness. I just feel in my heart, I just say, look at them, Their bread is buttered. But what about the people who even know where they're getting the bread, much less the butter? And it's not just big people we're dealing with, it's have children. You know how hard it is, Jeffrey, as you as a big person, You could be a hunger and you can't feed your little ones. When you hear your little ones crying and they don't have nothing to go buy, you know how frustrating that is? You know how frustrating that is, Mr. Jeffrey and others, Trinidad and Tobago? You know how frustrating that is? To know you ain't had nothing to feed your children? And yet still these fools coming up here and trying to change the narrative. And when they realize they can't get in on the platform or they can't get to where they're starting to bash, we will hear what's going on. All them bashing is like water on fig leaf. You hear what I'm telling all you? We're not here to war nobody. We're not here to make nobody's life miserable. We are going to state the facts. And the facts is this. The country is in a mess. We under SOE and look how much crime taking place. Police getting killed in the station. Drugs going missing in the station. We watch a whole video where the three police officers bullet riddle a car and kill a young man and paralyze the wife, and the government turn around now. Not the government, but the police service turn around now and charge the band paralyzed wife. When the father come out and with the rage in him, with the hurt in him, he come out and I would say he made a mistake, but the stress doesn't make it do and say anything. Or they turn around and jail the man. You know how bad that looking on this government, but Mr. Jeffrey? There's no mercy, you know. There's no help, you know. There's no way out, you know. It's like if Trinidad and Tobago is doomed, you know. But I could go on and on, but I could let somebody else talk because I ain't lying, my pressure go raise. Because it's like you're adding more insult to injury. When we cry out, you say that you're jailing we, or you're murdering we, or you're doing we all kind of things to stay quiet. Why are they doing with that? And we show all your love. We show all your love. We come together every creed and race and we show all your love, man, and that's what they're doing. People are hungry. Homes are mashing up. Young people going astray. Young women losing their innocence because here we're going on, they can't afford to buy pad, deodorant, as much as things to put in their belly, and all they ain't listening to we. When all they tell we, all they coming to create jobs and put things in place, so all they expect we to be going through all of this and not complain. Where's all their heart? Where all their sympathy? And you know what hurting me? We even hearing the Prime Minister coming out and address us. Who really running the country? I'm going to leave all with that.
So the next person on the panel, Scorpion, I know you're there in the background. Let me hear what's your contribution on the panel.
First to begin, Colombia, Venezuela ain't going to accept no donation from we at all after we pass through with these people. So what she doing there, that is failure. And the next thing too, she don't have time to go the little train who pass away funeral and thing.
Just
she had time.
Hold on.
Take a plane.
Hold on there, Scorpion. We have a caller on the line. Good night, caller.
Hello?
Yes, good night, caller.
Okay. Somebody else talking.
No, we hearing you. You hearing in the background, your background noise on. Go ahead. Make a contribution.
Okay. No, I just want to say that 2 weeks ago, no, last week, Saturday, my brother came from New York. And when he came here, he wanted to know how the airport could be in that mess, saying that so much bush in this place. I said, boy, it was not like that, but that is how it come because of this government we have in power. She said too much bush cutters. So right now we have no bush cutters. So the place is in a complete mess. You understand?
So your brother come from the States?
Yes.
And you already seen bush all over.
From the time we leave the airport, that's how the airport is, girl. I say, yeah, boy, I say, ain't seen nothing yet.
My God. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. Well, thanks for your contribution, caller.
And another thing I want to say again, the CPEP workers, my husband was a machine operator. and, you know, taking away that $1,400 from him a fortnight. You understand? Taking away that $1,400 a fortnight. What could have do something? Now he doesn't have it. You know what we're going through here now? Because I'm a pensioner, so my money now have to come in to do everything in this house here.
Yeah, well, tell
Because
that. Well,
take
you see,
my husband money from him.
you see, caller. You see, people in understanding, because when we talking here, the feel is a game. So you tell them we're going through. Tell them how much that you can't make ends meet. Tell the people. Tell them.
It's no game. It's no game thing. It is real. It is real. It is real. It is real.
Family, I sympathize with your family. You could always call back. I know you're here in the background on your side. I know you have it up loud for you to hear.
Yeah. All right then. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah. Can they say you hear what he called? I would have just said. I mean, people when we come up here and watch my that thousands of people outside they going through the same thing. Thousands of people outside going through the same thing, and we are seeing every single day that this government is taking away our rights every day, our rights to protest, our rights to demonstrate, our rights to stand up and say something. They're taking away our rights daily.
Yeah, but my thing is this, Mr. Jeffrey. Why are they so afraid for us to come out and talk? Why are they taking away people's rights from coming out and complaining? As you said before, that's like when you're beating a child and you're telling the child, hush your mouth, don't cry. But it's human beings that dealing with people don't have, and it's as if they don't care, boy. Where's the caring government that I helped put in power? Where is the caring prime minister that I show love and I help stand up and battle for the people at Toko Sandy Grande, boy? I don't understand, but it's as if them just wanted to come in power to do what they want and they don't care about the people. And that shows, you know what that shows? After this, because them could tell me what they want, Mr. Jeffrey and Trinidad and Tobago. The sufferation that the citizens are going through right now, the UNC ain't getting another reign. Probably in the next 100 years, when this generation erase some of the face of the earth, they might get a chance. And my thing is this: we need our opposition, you know. Although we want them gone, but we need our opposition. So what will happen to the other upcoming young UNC activists? Because they wouldn't stand a chance in it. It's a give and take, you know. Yes, we know the PNM would have done things, right, that was displeasing to the people. People had a problem with Rowley and some of the things they would have said to us. We know that. But we expect better from the UNC, but we expect love, we expect the help. They're saying, I'm giving UNC a chance, but it's how much months now? 14 months, Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa is no Johnny come lately. She's a veteran in the ring. So then it always leaves me to ask the question, who really running the country? Because we ain't seen anti-cams. We're anti-cams to address the people. We're anti-cams to help the people. All they send them so much at people. What do you expect is people to live on win?
She going for it.
You're supposed to put the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago first. You're supposed to put us first. The same people who put you first, you ain't putting we first. You put in we last and you're forgetting we. And when we come out with a complaint, all your blue vex and all they want to lock up people for all kind of things. What are they doing with that for?
Yeah, but why you want to lock up people? Candace, you see, tonight I plan to show you something. This is something that we forget. Why are you plan to lock up people? You know this man on the screen, yeah? That Eric Williams. And he would have said something that is so instrumental. It is against what Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC is doing today. What? Let me play.
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more, than the right to vote, and one vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. Democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. All that is democracy. All that is our democracy, to which I call upon all citizens to dedicate themselves on this our Independence Day. This is what I meant when I gave the nation as its slogan for all time: discipline, production, tolerance. Our national flag belongs to all of us. Our national coat of arms with our national buds inscribed therein is the sacred trust of all our citizens. So it is today. Please, I urge you, let it always be so. Let us always be able to say with the psalmist, "Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity."
And Mr. Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear what Mr. Eric Williams said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Democracy means freedom of speech and movement for
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't have. We don't have freedom of speech. We don't have freedom of movement.
Yeah.
Because anytime we speak out, we'd end up like Jason De Silva, Alyssa Phillip, Johan, right? And others. Anytime we speak out against this government, so this government is taking away the freedom. We are no longer in a democracy. We're in a dictatorship. That is what this UNC government is, a dictatorship. And they used to call Mr. Rowley a dictator. But who is the real dictator now? Who are the real dictator? They're not respecting the laws of the democracy. They're not respecting it. This UNC government is the worst thing ever hit Trinidad and Tobago. The worst. And if I could go back in the morning and take back my vote, I sure thousands of citizens in Trinidad and Tobago think the same way like how I think. If we could go back and take we vote, we go back and take back our votes. Because I regret every day past voting for this UNC government. I regret, and I am fed up of this government. And the policies and the dictatorship and the police service standing out over us like with a whip, like we still in slavery days. Are we still in slavery days? I know master days done, but are we still in slavery days? Yeah, the police service now whipping us.
Yeah.
If we step out our line, if we only say something, out of context, the police service is there. And they're putting us in a dark hole some way. You understand? And our families, nobody don't know which part we is. Which part Robocop's son is right now?
No, nobody know. Yeah, but how we reach from that to this? How we reach a point that when the average man speak out and say something, regardless if it's song disrespectful or not, how it reach the point that we are thrown in jail? You see, Chata, when I tell it this just now, at what point we will say to ourselves that the UNC is doing the most? Enough is enough. At what point?
You know something, Jeffrey? I feel how the UNC ruling with intimidation right now. I feel people are frightened because people have their family, people trying to still trying and scraping and to make two ends meet, and I feel people are frightened to say enough is enough for them because they don't know if they say it the wrong way, they might get locked up. So I just feel people right now, the UNC government have people so intimidated and so frightened to say anything right now. You understand? That is the whole thing. I feel people want to come out, Jeffrey. People want to come out. People want to come out, but have people afraid of victimization. People afraid of being locked up. It's only a
Jeffrey.
few. It's only a few like us, brave, who willing to stand up and voice for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago will come out and say what is going on. But it have plenty people not have the same heart like us, and it take a lot from us, a lot from you.
Hold on there a second, chatter. We have a international call. Good night, caller.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have two things to say about this thing. Yeah, man. The UNC actually, you got to look at the government as a coup. It's a coup government as far as how they get into power. They use the public to persuade them to help them get into power. That's how they get into power. That's what they're ruling. And the second thing is, remember the story with the children of Israel when Moses lead them to the promised land?
Yeah.
And he tried to tell them how they could go and take the promised land, but the people wasn't believing.
They come back and say they're like giants.
Right. So that was Dr. Rowley. He lead them out of COVID based on all this stuff UNC did before that brought us to that point. And then when time comes for it to actually surround and control everything and take the promised land, they went then back and vote UNC. It's just like when Moses went to the mount to get the commandments and the people started pulling calf and all kind of thing and do all kind of crazy thing. That is the era we're in right now. So look at it like that. And don't think that's a regular government. It's a government by coup. You understand? They take over the country by coup. And that's why they could use the police to help them keep everybody in line. So it's not a regular government where people could compare PNM and UNC.
And it is unjust because we reach a point that our civil rights have been taken away from us. You hear what Eric Williams said? It's a whole over a year now we underneath SOE. And it's seeming to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Rowley said that in the campaign. This is what they was going to do. Everything they're doing was by the playbook. If you go back and follow the campaign, people say, oh, I can't think about Rowley. But they didn't understand. They didn't understand. That's here we are. Here we are. Because I wasn't listening. You understand? PSA and all roads here and all them, help them to get the government out. Here we are. And these people get to walk around like if nothing had happened. They get to walk the street. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. So you know what happened to the children of Israel when they didn't take the promised land when they had the opportunity, right?
The wander in the wilderness for 40 years.
All right then. Okay then. So don't hold your breath, my friend. It had to go through. You see what I'm saying? I love you, man.
I wish it didn't go through here, but oh God, I understand what you're saying, my brother.
That's what it is, my friend. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shake up the place, man. I love you.
Yeah,
Take
man. Thanks for the contribution, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So before we go on to chatter again, we have a new person on the chat here, Judy Jackson or Johnson or
Jeffrey, before you go ahead, Trinity was asking to come up, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, let me see if I get Trinity. I ain't see she, but I will see if I get she. But who the Judy or Jackson, Judy Johnson or Jackson, who is that? Come on, man. Are you coming up and are you singing, man? I ain't seen Trinity. But go ahead, chatter.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, right now our rights is being infringed on by this UNC government, and it hard on all of us coming out here, and every night we coming out here and highlighting what is going on. Myself, Princess, Trinity, Anaxonomon, you understand? The group of us. And we need help as well. We need the citizens to stand up with us and unify and come together. You understand? And say enough is enough, because it's all are we who going through the same pressure. And it's all are we who have better tomorrow. You understand? And people like Raw Talk and NCW and the few who eating our food right now, but what about the rest?
I
You
feel
understand?
I feel Raw Talk eating our food, but Raw Talk need to make a message clear and lucid. Because if you're not with us, you're against us. And the thing about it is this: is a large proportionate of the community of Trinidad and Tobago is being advantaged, or being taken advantage upon by this government. And it's either you're for the people, or you're against the people. Because what we are doing here, you ain't seen we come in here and fight up nobody. We are talking on behalf of the people that don't have a voice. Every night we doing it. So where you feel tonight I could have lie down and sleep and then bother with this whole thing. Come
We
now,
ain't getting
man.
no 20. We ain't getting no 20,000 to make no ads.
Nah, we
You
ain't getting no
understand?
20,000 to make no ad.
Like the rest of them who eating our food. You understand? 'Cause all of them, the NCW and the stacks and all of them, for them to come up there, them getting paid to come up to say what they're saying. We doing it voluntary. This is voluntary work we doing here. You understand?
And you see the thing is, chatter, we're not looking for
somebody.
we're not looking for fame, you know.
We're not looking for fame. We're
Go
looking for
ahead,
a better
chatter.
tomorrow. We're looking for a better. And Candice, I heard a person said on your live the other day that how we getting paid for this. We're not getting paid for this. We are not getting paid for this. Go ahead, Candice.
Let me tell you something. I feel responsible for what is taking place in my community because a lot of people coming to me and complaining. You hear what I'm telling you? A lot of people, and listen to me, the amount of thing happening in my constituency, I would not talk on it because of certain circumstances, certain things I see taking place beyond my control. So I have to tiptoe around it. But that time will come when my voice will be very loud. But until such time, when people come to me, what, I just feel so sad. I just feel so hurt. And I just go down and pray and ask God. I say, Father God, I hope one day soon that the minister that we welcome in Sandy Gandhi will listen to our cries and start to do what he's supposed to do for the people. You understand what I'm saying? Because it is hard. It is hard. It is hard for everybody. Nobody wants to war them. If we wanted to war the UNC, we would have never put them there. We came together in one accord with peace, love, and unity. We stood with somebody who we didn't even know, and we showed them the love. You understand me? We showed them the love. And look at what is going on. I don't know what's going on in this country, but I beg God to have mercy and step in, because watch me. Sometimes I just be so frightened to answer my phone because it's somebody calling to ask for something. My inbox is being a mess because people don't have, and I don't understand why this government so hard on the citizen. People saying that they're feeling like if they're living in hell.
And Candice,
It
not
had the ones who can afford to party. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. I just think something. Go ahead. You go ahead.
It had the ones who could afford to lime and party and go to the biggest fete and all of that. But what about the ones who had a job? Who could maintain their family as small as it is with the little CPEP and the URP and the forestry and the county work and all of that? But when you take away that from them and you give them one hamper, how could that multiply and feed your family? I want to ask the government this. Why it is all they're not listening to the people? So what this situation where the people is facing is not going to go away. And right now the UNC is the most disliked government that ever passed through Trinidad and Tobago. People are not. Let me tell you, if the UNC should lift that SOE and allow the people to have a voice, they wouldn't be there for the watchman. They will have to leave there the next day. No, but they see here what's going on with them. They know the power this TikTok and the social media platform having it, because that is what they use to win the election. And like people like myself and Chatter and all of that. So when I see people coming on social media and trying to attack Anaska, trying to attack Chatter and myself and you and other people, I just laugh, because back then we were stupid. Back then we were blinded. Back then we really wanted change. We really wanted betterment. But I don't mean to say if we see the grapes turning sour, or you make a mug a mobby and you leave it outside for 2-3 days and you go to taste it and you see it sour, you go say it good. It's we, the people on the ground, feeling the pain. It's we feeling it. And all the business people in Sandy Grande are complaining. All the people in the market are complaining because people are not buying. And it's the poor man on the ground is what has keep those business places rolling, you know. It's the poor man on the ground that's
Friday morning.
patronized. With what?
Before you go on to that, just so I'm Scorpion. This video here, I see it, my boy Lyndon Mack. That scumbag, Lyndon Mack, going on the platform. Everybody free to say what they want. But this scumbag that you see Lyndon Mack here, watch him. Talking about Aniska.
And the hard part about it is,
just so candid.
All the people who are in a circle, but we don't shut down, my brother. All the people who are in a circle, talking with no real information before them. Apparently not, boy. Everybody, and the salon workers and people suffering. Is the level of dunceness that does really upset me in we circular people.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, that person that you're seeing there, that Lyndon Mack, he's a scumbag. Let me tell you what he is. Let me show you what this scumbag really is. Let me give you a prime example.
Massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good for your hand, boss. Good for your hand, Massa.
That's all right, Toby. That's all right. You be a good field hand and you can stay here.
Ah, Toby, stay. Toby, stay. Toby be good now. Toby be real good. Toby be good nigga for Massa. Good.
That is people like Lyndon Mack. That is people like Twiggy. That is people like Mr. Miss. That is people like Stuck. That is heavy duty. That is what them fellas is. House slaves. The house slave different from the field slave, you know? When the field slave fed up at the whips of being in the field, the master beating them. The house slave say no, let me do revolt. Because he getting the scraps. He say no, he going and sell you out. And that's what is going on now within Trinidad and Tobago. They are using certain black people. People like Wall Street, that scumbag from America. People like Heavy Duty that would have been touting he for people for years. And his head is buried in the sand with his bottom up in the air. Because you on a radio program. And next scumbag. There are many of them line up. People like Stuck. Head straight up Kamala dress. David Welch begging for a spot right now. Because the people of we kind and our kind are being real with you. People of our kind, they don't value what we bring to the table. When you getting $2, a man doing the same thing getting 50 and 100. It's a game they played with. And when they do so, they gain certain people certain thing, and then they tell you, shh, don't tell you again anything. And they have a feeding frenzy going on inside of it. And they're using people like Roger Alexander, that dumb ox, to talk shit and embarrass himself all over social media. And they're using other people like Alistair Guerrero. He's an ex-EMS. In the seat. Imagine that you lock up a defenseless little girl. And then you're resisting arrest. Resisting arrest. And disorderly behavior in Faizabad.
13 riot squad officers for one defenseless little girl. 13 officers.
13. And that girl didn't do nothing. That girl would have been protesting because what I see a police, about 3 of them, shoot up a man in a car, kill the man, cripple the wife, the girlfriend, and people protesting about it, which is our God-given right. And then the first Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago, he would have said freedom of expression. And at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, this government, this nasty, stinking UNC government that is run by Kamla Prasad Bisesa and touted by people like Heavy Duty, people like Stuck, and that scumbag from Tobago that are called Lyndon Mack, that will eat up anything the government give him. And I pray that all of you who supporting this government on social media and calling a bad thing good and calling a good thing bad, I pray that it have room for you, that all you roast in the hottest part of hell. The hell with some of you, boy. The hell with some of you. Imagine that now, but you hear Lyndon Mack, boy. You hear Lyndon Mack? Boy,
so he's not a black man too. So he's not a black man too.
I really don't know what to say. Yes, so who coming? Yeah, that's some people that come up here. Let me see if I can bring them up.
Jeffrey, when our Prime Minister could stand up on a podium and said for coming around for campaign for election, and said the police and the government is using the ticketing system as a form of tax, and the PNM government, when they was in power, they make $74 million off the citizens and them. And when I come in power, I will address that. And the heavy-handed approach what the police service is taking against the citizens and them, I will address the ticketing system. And for Christmas morning, you turn around and double all the fines by 100%. Is that a loving, caring government?
Good night, Mr. Xavier.
President, good night. Hold on, look. Good night.
Yes, good night, Xavier.
Just 1 second. Right. You hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
I want to read something here. President, good night again. I'm going to read something here to you. A dispute erupted between the government and the Port of Spain corporation workers whether the capital city has sufficient funding to pay hundreds of municipal workers. This after Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin yesterday dismissed claim that the corporation lacks money to pay salary, insisting the government has already released necessary funds, accusing the corporation playing petty politics with workers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's someone I know personally, and they would have indicated to me that it does not look good, and it looked for the month of June that workers in the Port of Spain Corporation will not be paid. Why does government intend to do people that? If they work, If you're looking for, if you're working, they firing you. If you're also working, they still don't want to pay you money. And where is these latrine flies like Stark and them? Where is these latrine flies like Kingsley? Where is these Pitum flies? Labas flies, sorry. These labas flies. Like heavy and them. Who are not speaking about these atrocities? It cannot continue like that people can be working and not being paid their monies. How if you say you have a government who winning, this does not look like winning. I am making an appeal to the government. They find the necessary money to pay these people. It is very unfair. We already took away CPEP that continue to do a wonderful job in ensuring that Trinidad and Tobago maintain beautiful. And you bring some bootleg CPEP that only selective areas are being maintained. Do not affect the productivity of the Port of Spain Corporation. Please, the workers cannot be paid, and they have to come out to give some type of tenuous service to the capital city. I am asking the Prime Minister to step in and ensure that these people are paid. Too much of time, it cannot continue like that. And you know, before I go, Mr. Jeffrey, I want to say, I remember this chap who was one who spoke about these things under the Dr. Keith-led administration. He vehemently rejected these things. And all of a sudden, he's on mute. All of a sudden, there's a tape on his mouth. All of a sudden, he has nothing to say than to come on alive and tell you 10 years and 10 years and 10 years and 10 years. This is a government and their supporters who intend to govern Trinidad and Tobago in a retrospective perspective. You cannot drive up the Eurobata highway looking backward, you know. You're going to crash. So if that is the only way they intend to say they're going to govern Trinidad and Tobago by telling you about 10 years and you are 14 years, 14 months of my apologies in governing Trinidad and Tobago, I say to you, you lack the political skills and you lack the political experience where governing is concerned, and it's time for you to do something. We are making a call for you to do something. If you cannot handle the heat in the kitchen, do the honorable thing and call the election. People cannot be suffering because of the misuse, because of the mistrust, because of the incompetencies of these people running through in Parliament and who continue to bring a set of feeble policies that is not bringing productivity to Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot do the job, get out of the position. And workers' right, you know that it's sensible. If you're running a business and you have a supervisor that cannot deliver, you're going to tell he or her to leave. So why we cannot tell as a people if we are not satisfied with this government? We have to demonstrate. We have to demonstrate within the parameters of the law. We have to demonstrate and say, here what? We are working for you and we are not seeing the dividends on our work. Get up and just get out. We have to do something. Too much of time. Sad people are working and they're not being paid. When will this vindictiveness stop? When will this evilness stop? When will this sadistic behavior stop? I am just totally fed up, man. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yes, brother. Yes, but and I am saying the same thing to you, the population of Trinidad and Tobago. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Stand with us. Let me shut down this country. And let me pull the resignation of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Let us put an end to the tyranny of this government. Good night, Trini Tons. Good night, Trini Tons. How are you going?
Good night. Before you go on, good night, lovey. Before you go on, I see Trinity says she's here. So pull up. Hi, Trinity Tons. Good night, darling.
Good night, gorgeous. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thanks for having me. So, every day is just a different episode. It's the same bullshit. We have to stop getting caught up with the distractions.
Yep.
We need to get a plan and stick with it. That's the only thing. The only way we will get change is by effort. We can't just be allowing them to take away our rights and treat we like we is nothing. We have to remember what is with us.
Well, long Angela Joseph,
Yeah.
she didn't request to come up. Take her down. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're seeing that this government clearly, they don't care. They have proven that. This is not guess. This is evidence. They show us that they have no plan, they're incompetent, and they don't care about us. What else we waiting for? When people show you who they are, believe them. Don't wait until it's too late, and then they go say, but I show you who I was, and you still put me there. What we intend to do. And this is a collective effort. It's not one section of people. Everybody have to get involved.
Yes.
This is not about party, as Warrior Princess said. This is about country. It's either we Trinbagonian or we not.
True. And I know Trinity waiting in it, but Trinity, before I pull you up to say something, I want to play this thing we just always talk about
For
here.
massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good for your hand, boss. Good for your hand, massa.
It's all right, Toby. It's all right. You be a good field hand, and you can stay here.
Ah, Toby stay. Toby stay. Toby be good now. Toby be real good. Toby be good nigga for massa. Good.
Right, Trinity. So never hear Trinity tonight. Trinity, good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we hear you.
Good. That video is an example of a house Negro. You see how Toby did it? That is what Stark and then let's be doing. Stark, a good boy. I am a good boy, Miss Kamala. Stark is a good boy for you. That is what Stark and Heavy D let's be saying when they go by Kamala. Heavy D is a good boy. I'll do good things for you. Yes, that is a house Negro. So I just want to talk about some certain things that is happening with regards to a certain individual. I will not call his name because he's not relevant.
Okay.
Where he said that it have people from Point 14 is speaking propaganda and doing misinformation on for people at Point 14. Now that is a blatant lie. Point 14, as we speak, is the smallest borough of Trinidad and Tobago. And right now, we have the highest unemployment rate right now. Today we would have a recruitment drive with a security firm, a new security firm. And when I tell you, if all they did see that crowd in Point 14 of the people that was looking for jobs, right, you all would be amazed because they're not getting any jobs. Now I remember when the Prime Minister was campaigning and Kiza and them was campaigning, they were saying that the people of Library would be getting jobs because they say they was going to open the shipping yard and stuff. Now that they're in power, nothing isn't happening. I don't know if Mr. Jeffrey remember that.
I remember.
Nothing isn't happening. Up to now, they can't open the shipping yard or nothing. So basically, everyone from Library, Point 14 and environs decided that they would come and try to get a job with the security firm. Point 14 roads are terrible. Thank God for the highway. Because if you have to pass from if you have to come from Sanson and on that old road, on the main road, your shucks must bust because the roads are so bad. And then they go around and say how Point 14 is so good. Point Fortin have so much incomplete buildings that they're just building up and just leaving. They're not fixing up the buildings or anything. They're not fixing the schools. There are schools in Point Fortin that need to be built over. Like, for example, the Point Fortin East Secondary. The Point Fortin East Secondary needs to be built over. When the rain fall, that school is flood. You understand? Point Fortin in a disaster. The streets bad, the roads bad, they're not getting, the ball corporation not getting paid, nothing. And then they're coming up here and talking and saying, oh, Kiza and Ella, Inesto Kiza and Clyde are doing this and that for Point Fortin and Labrie. They're not doing nothing for Point Fortin and Labrie. People like Youngson and them, who is like bottom for the UNC, right? Not do the coming up and they're saying how these MPs doing for Point Fortin, right? There are so many single mothers in Point Fortin right now who does run by the MP office for food cards, and all it has been real disheartening because it's like the MP he don't ever be there, and he does have minions outside of the building, just taking names and numbers, right? And they're not receiving no calls, nothing. So every time they always have to go and put on the name and things like that. They also have to be also see elderly people sit down in front of the office. There's also see elderly people sit down because there's have chairs and thing there, and they sit down in front of the office waiting to see Mr. Kiza, and they can't see him. He like the Prime Minister. You could never see him. He like John Cena. You can't see me. You understand? But yet, for Borough Day, he could keep a 7-day event, right? And he show up for that every night. But you can't see him now when you need help. I just feel real sorry for my people at Point Fortin because I can't really speak for Labrie because I am not from Labrie. But I can speak for Point Fortin. Mr. Jeffrey can speak for Labrie. But I can speak for Point Fortin because I am from Point Fortin, born and grew up in Point Fortin. And honestly speaking, Point Fortin is not bright right now. It is not bright. Right? Point Fortin is looking very, very terrible. Everywhere you drive in Point Fortin is a pothole. Mr. Jeffrey, you see by the T-shirt stand there?
Yeah.
With the sport of the stage for Borough Day?
Yeah. Boy, you go, they full of pothole, boy. And that is in the middle of Point.
In the middle of Point, in the heart of Point by the park. That place is... No.
While we wait on Trinity, let me play this video because just when they win election,
Doubles and
what
coffee.
What gem in
we
Point?
Point 14. Now, let me tell you something. When I tell you PNM is a disease and a blight, and all they must keep PNM out of this country in every constituency.
But you see me, I can drink rum whole day and night. If I take 2 quid, gone through. Anyway, separate, but we want to put back in time. No,
This is Point 14 that normally always vote for PNM. This is Coronation Park. My little daughter has played tennis. We need tennis court. Watch how the PNM has left this Coronation Park. A history of sporting brilliance and genius. Look where football used to play.
And literally what is taking place here, the contractor has started to execute his work at Coronation Park.
Tell me about Coronation Park, the history, the legacy, the importance, and then let us know why we as a government, the United National Congress under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, must fix here and restore it. Good morning, sir.
And literally what is taking place here, the contractor has started to execute his work at Coronation Park.
Pleasant and wonderful morning. Yellow is the code. Senator Roberts, Senator Alexander, welcome to Point Forte and welcome to the entire team. Welcome to Point Forte. I'll get straight to it. Coronation Park is the largest recreational space in Trinidad and Tobago. It was given to us way back in the time of Shell and so on. And to come to fast forward, Point Forte has been the mecca of a lot of things in Trinidad and Tobago for umpteen years. Great footballers like Leroy Dillian, God rest his soul, Warren Archibald, Mr. Charlo, and then the younger ones, Carrington, and so many greats. Even in Egypt alone, I could call great footballers. You understand? And it started. They didn't listen.
And literally, what has taken place here, the contractor has started to execute his work at Coronation Park.
This park is earmarked for sports tourism. We told the last administration that we needed to fix this place properly, put on a Mundo track, put on an AstroTurf, get proper.
And literally, what has taken place here, the contractor has started to execute his work at Coronation Park.
So Trinidad and Tobago, what Trinity would have now said to you is that the UNC government come in here with a bunch of lies. The work would have already been started before they would have obtained government. The win government, they run down all over Trinidad and Tobago. Ask them where Philip Edward Alexander is right now. Where Anna Roberts is right now. Where Kiza Ernesto is right now. And we having people selling down the jockey shorts and point. Like if it's gold. Where Clyde Elder?
Mr. Everybody, if I mind I interject. That same park they're talking about, Coronation Park in Egypt Village, where we just call the arena, we just really call it the arena, people, in Point 14.
Mm-hmm.
It's still so on Thursday. Kennedy Richards left, it's still so. They never did all that shit Kiza is still talking there. He didn't do nothing on that park yet.
All that flair.
The wall, a car, they driving the wall some years ago and crashing the wall, it break down and thing, still at the big hole. They're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
but
to that park.
the UNC
is
the UNC is just about talk. Oh, you have to understand that and borrow money. That is what it is about, you know. Talk and borrow money. That is all the UNC is about. Worst government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Watch me. For election, after election, I see them run down. I see that people touting down to Kiza Ernesto draws. They're trying to sell that. If you could do so and trim, they sell a lock for me here and all. Touting Kiza Ernesto 2 point. And then doing a bag of shit for the people down there. People had was to beg to keep a borrow there.
So Dreader man is where Jeffrey, where me know so Dreader man is.
Boy, you're getting tapped, yes? You're getting tapped.
But here what you doing now? Here what happening now? Mr. Kennedy Richards, who is the MP for PNM? I think he's the MP. Yeah, I think he's still the MP for PNM. For Point 14. He did turn the soil and he did fence around. For Warden Road. Warden Road is a place in Point 14. Say you going and build a community center for the little kids and them in Point 14. Ernesto kids are coming power and that was it. Nothing. They didn't even pour up a brick yet. Nothing. No foundation, nothing in one road. Nothing. Nothing at all. You understand? And you know what upsetting? The fact that Ernesto Kiza and Clyde Elder are 2 union men. They are 2 union men. And that is why I think Point 14 voted for them in the first place, because the union men and these people thought that, okay, these two union men would have helped them get jobs. But that wasn't the case. They lied to the people at Point 14. Make we vote yellow. And then they abandon us. Look at the heart of Point 14, the Victor Chinket Park. Victor Chinket Park is one of the most historic parks in the history of Point 14.
Just now, Trinity, we get some breaking news here today. Right now, Joshua Samaru father suffers a heart attack in custody and he remains hospitalized. And that is what's going on right about now in Trinidad. Breaking news, Trinidad and Tobago. So if you know, Joshua Samaru dad suffers a heart attack whilst he was in custody. I the kind of thing that taking place in this country.
Jesus.
Go ahead,
My
Trinity.
God, and this is the type of things I'm talking about. The stress Joshua Samaru father. It's like these people are such narcissistic, egotistical pigs. You understand? Look what they're doing this old man. This man is literally grieving. The man grieving. And when you're grieving, they say things that you don't mean. Or you look up the man. And look what happened to this old man. You understand? This old man supposed to be enjoying the children and the grandchildren. He in hospital because he got a heart attack. The wicked. This government is a wicked government. But God don't sleep, you know. And God does never miss an address. And what you do to others will come back to you tenfold. That is always say that. And you know what? Upsetting the Prime Minister wouldn't even come and go on the podium and address the nation. She's staying mute. Your citizens suffering and you starting to help Venezuela. Because you're desperate for the Dragon Deal gas. You feel if you help Venezuela with resources, because they get hit by earthquake, they will give you the gas just so they don't care about you. Help out your citizens. Look what happened to Joshua Samaru father. Look at the people who died. Look at how much people in prison for nothing. Look at the Harry fella who's sick in jail. Look at Karen Alexis. He basically lost in the system. We don't know what's going on with him. But you see nothing and you ain't doing nothing. If you ain't not capable of the work, pack up yourself. Call an election. This thing overbearing now. We tired. The citizens tired and we fed up.
This is where they're bringing these citizens.
So what crime this man commit for them to have he lock up in his cell?
This is where they're bringing these citizens in them right now. This man right now, and shame on the radio station who bring up this man to ask him about his son on Father's Day. You understand? Shame on that radio
that
station.
trauma. I-95,
They trap
shame.
that man. They trap that man. You understand? And watch what this man facing right now.
Why does it still have him inside the...
I mean, why White is it still have him in there? White is to
that
have
is a
everybody
real
else.
person.
Paul White is to have everybody else inside of there. Because they're vindictive. That is why they have everybody. What do you mean why they have everybody in there? Speak out about them. They don't want you to speak
They mean
out
to
about
say,
them.
they mean to say, we power now, so shut up and have nothing to say.
You gotta dance to my tune. And if you ain't dancing
They're
to my tune,
weaponizing the state
shut out alone.
against the citizens. That's what they're doing. And they're using these opportunities to inject fear into the population. But I want you all to watch this on the both sides. Light don't only show up things that good. It also shows up the bad. And you need to watch it. Watch how our government not taking this man's mental health into consideration. This man just lost his son. They provoke him for an emotional response so that they could get a grip on him. All you notice, everybody affiliated with this case has become a target in one way or the other.
Well, look at
You're talking
Johan.
about politicalizing this case, but it is the Prime Minister that jumped out she whole self and threw her support behind the TTPS. So, only in this case, justice must not take its course, right? Because she already called them criminals. She
call us a lawless dumb. That's what she call us.
I'm talking about this case in particular. When she addressed Alyssa and she showed the world that she support the behavior of the TTPS with regards to this case. And everybody, remember this gentleman, he made a statement and they tried to bend the statement. And then he came out and he said, that was not what he said, or misrepresentation, or whatever it was. So obviously,
he apologized.
Remember that
he apologized because the frame of mind he was in, the frame of mind that Joshua Samaru's father was in, that is enough to send up. Watchman, there's a thin line.
Yeah, but this is the second time,
sanity.
Warrior Princess. This is the second time. Remember the first time they tried to say that he believed that Kaya was guilty after whatever the lawyer and whatever. Remember? And then he came out and he defended himself and say he made no such statement, but it was already in the news. So they didn't like how he stood up for himself and debunked his statement. This is the second time. This time they trap him emotionally. They trap that man.
Yeah.
He is having a meltdown.
Shame on that radio station who trapped that man. Shame on that radio station.
He should have never even accepted that radio station invitation.
Trinity, I'll tell you something. When people in a situation like that, they just want to feel a little bit of normalcy. He just want to tell anybody who will understand him, this man is melting down before our eyes. That's what's going on with him. And they weaponize the state and using it against him.
And
I wouldn't be shocked to hear. No, he's not the only one.
Because right now, Johan in this he health condition is deplorable. He's deteriorating in the prison as well, Johan. And the government of the day do not care. So it's two of them right now deteriorating.
That's why I keep telling you, they don't care. And it have nothing we could do to make them care. The only time they will care again is in 2030 when it have the next election. That's the only time you will get attention and something looking like care from them. Until then, we have nothing to do.
That's to come in front my door, boy. I waiting for you to come in front my gate and tell me about what he could do for point for. And I can say, sir, don't even waste your breath. Just walk away. I telling you.
I am paying close attention to, guys, and I think everybody something I paying close attention to, and I would like everybody to pay attention to it. Watch the steps that Dominic Harford and they taken. It is a legal loophole. Is Alwari fighting the case? If it good for them, it good for every single body who get detained under the PDO. Pay attention.
I read on the news today, right? I read go and count inside now. I read on the news today that on Facebook today that the man and the lady who got arrested, their lawyer want the government, want the prison service to move them to a better prison. Why? Because they have money. What good for the goose, good for the gander.
That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about they took the commissioner of police to court. They need to explain. They want an explanation for the warrant and a clarification on the PDO. They did not have a PDO in place. It's only today they get it signed off.
But the ordinary man on the ground cannot do that because we don't have the funds. and the lawyers to hire a lawyer and the funds. We don't have that. So what
Listen,
about the
when you
ordinary
hire a
man and
lawyer,
woman?
you have to instruct your lawyer.
Yeah, but
You
the
understand what
ordinary
I'm
man and the
saying?
young guys don't afford a lawyer. The ordinary men like Johan and them who they're locking up right now cannot afford a lawyer.
Because shut up, even then some Johan them don't need no lawyer. Them basically Johan get locked up for nothing, you know. He get locked up for what? For talking.
He didn't even get to go before a judge. So
He
he
ain't see a
can't
judge
even
yet. He just there in the
he in a
people
real
prison.
mess.
Yeah, but
He ain't see a judge yet. They ain't charge him yet. Nothing. He just there in prison. You understand?
Mr.
So
Hadid get locked up for the same thing because he get locked up for speaking about the taxes.
so this
Just
is
like how they're going
in
behind
just
Gary.
just so all we can talk at the same time. Now between me and you would have said something that very instrumental Trinitons. So the PDO wasn't ready as yet. And they locked
No,
them up.
today they had a warrant. Now remember, in the parliament, John Jeremy always throwing talk and telling them we coming for all here, we coming for all here. This was a plan. This was targeted. They had a search warrant for the premises, but under the SOE they do not need it. But they came and they tell media that they was arrested under the PDO measures. Under PDO. Alwari knew that they didn't have a PDO. So he went before the court to let the court get it clarified. And it's only today it was signed. Only today. That's why they moved them.
Wow.
What about equal rights and justice, boy? Oh Lord.
I'll tell you something. This is the second time that happened. The same time when Jason X and they were arrested, right? That so-called rule or legislation, or whatever they want to call it, where they talk about the 15 zones that they cannot protest. They were arrested before that hit the media. And if the lawyers good, they will sue the flicking government. Because it's not the day it was written, it's the day it was given to the media. That is when it was released. It was written on the same day that they were arrested, but it was released the following day on the media.
But Harry, you and Harry would have bring up that same point before he was arrested. He would have bring up that same point. He says how it is the same day, and other people in the media too would have bring up that same point. How it is it's a special zone and that never hit the media.
It wasn't released. It was written. It was approved, but it was not released to the media, and that's where the power is. If the citizens do not have that information, then they ignorant to that law. They do not know it exists.
They're
So
making
the
up. They're making up laws as it comes.
As they
They're
go.
making up
And
laws
that's
as it
exactly
comes.
what they come and do now.
So
well, you notice
as they
that's
go
what they do with
straight.
Alwari now.
So that that's what they're doing. They're
Alwari
just
go
making
jack
up.
them up.
They're just making up laws.
Mm-hmm.
And the laws
Yeah,
don't make
correct.
sense. The laws does not make any sense. You understand? It really doesn't.
And some of the laws they're using is quite back in the 19th centuries and all kind of thing. Yeah?
Remember, it's lawyers that make up she cabinet, So them know the ins and the outs. Them know how to bend the laws to make it suit them. They know what they're doing. It's only manipulation from top to bottom.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago, I ain't gonna lie, my spirit tonight is very saddened, seeing that I would have learned about this man, this old man, the father Joshua Samaru, after this whole situation here, would have gotten arrested and then he catch a heart attack. This hard my spirit here tonight because we know the man just grieving and he didn't say something out the line. He said if look I say they cannot talk young men that's talk. But if I have a girl child I have a bag gun and pay down. Half a we. None of we have a tough fat. Most of us is the better way to pay it across. Where we get a girl child never do that. The man grieving. The man grieving. The man balling. You see?
Any human in that position will have an emotional response. And if they want to hold it against him,
But
that's disgusting.
it's
Them
only
is human.
it's only the police that want to give counseling. But before we really reach the conclusion tonight, let me call back this woman. This Granny 69. She always just try to come on the program. I call and if she didn't answer, Granny 69. Good night. I see you trying to call plenty times.
Yes, what I trying to get through here. I'm low down my arm.
Yes.
I'm low down my thing. I'm paying attention to all you on my tablet here tonight.
Okay,
What
Granny.
I want to say, we forever talking about Kamala as the Prime Minister. Kamala is just the window dressing there, Mr. Judge. The man who is the Prime Minister there is the man who the time out, piled up. He's the Prime Minister of the country. As one part. We have the how we call it, the Speaker of the House. What he doing there? He never hear, he never see, he never know. So the opposition can't say nothing because wrong, right? Or indifference, he never hear. So he can't give nobody on nothing the opposition say. Because he get in there by the back door. We have Wade Mark, again, back door. Nobody never vote for Wade Mark, but he always in the president of the upper house. He always there. He never see nothing. He never know nothing. I just watch him. Them never see. They never know. Okay. Then we have Annie Roberts with the big head, talking a set of nonsense, coffee and doubles. This man's supposed to be in jail. He's not supposed to be doing nothing, sitting in Parliament talking foolishness about Rowley and who. Then we have Philip Alexander. All these people get in there by the back door. Why they have to be controlling our Parliament? Why they have to be there? They are no right there. We supposed to, you know what we have to do in this country? If we can't protest as how we protesting on the road, every government building, all those government workers who had to go to work, stay home. Don't go to do no work. So when the thing closed, they go get the police. In 1970, they had the regiment running the country. When the police running the country, when the soldiers on them was in mutiny, they had to go back and do that. That's what we had to do. Okay, Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes. I understand. And Granny,
that's what we had to do.
Your comments here is always welcome. It's just that you had a lot of people calling at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Get rid of Annie Roberts on them, man.
All right, Granny. People.
No, I facts. Granny talk real facts. Everything she talk is real facts. Yeah. Your speaker is the worst I ever come across. Well, Wayne Mark, he just can't hear what he's saying at all. I don't know why they're moving from it. He doesn't hear what he's saying in the Senate at all. And the House Speaker biased like that. Like, that man biased, boy. He never see, as Granny say, he never hear nothing with the opposition thing. The opposition
That's good, man.
Well,
no, I know the House Speaker is for the UNC, you know. Paul, the Speaker is for the UNC. Look at the House Speaker that operates. Look how he does operate.
I just think he needs to let this man.
He's a big old criminal too. It is alleged.
He's a jailer.
It is alleged he's a big old criminal.
Nah, it's not alleged.
It is alleged.
No, it's not alleged.
It is alleged that the whole of the UNC.
It's not alleged. He's a jailer. He was on. Yeah.
He make jail.
He take bribery.
Yeah, it is alleged. Watch me. age for anything in a referee.
Hey,
That to say it is alleged.
that is on
They
record.
trade it by
That is on record.
the shooter by trade jail too, yes?
Jack Dale Singh is our old jailer. It is
Yeah, you make headlines. You make
it
headlines.
no legitimity. He's a jailer.
Yeah,
That
you
make the
make
gazette.
headlines. Mhm.
Yeah, son, he might be, if he did drop this, a matter of fact, he might be drop this soap, and we know what has happened when they drop this soap inside of there. So people of Trinidad and Tobago, the panel, I mean, we reached to the limit of the broadcast here this afternoon, and I would like to say something before I give Oya a chance to close off, to say what Oya to say in closing. So to my good friend Roto, don't take chain up. Oh, don't send no double message for us here on this platform. Because at the end of the day, what we are doing here, we're not fighting these scumbags and them that are call heavy duty. I don't hate heavy duty personally. I hate his ideology. I hate his biasness. I hate his hypocrisy, and the same thing goes to Stock, Matara, Twiggy, all of them. That is what I hate. I hating that they seeing the brothers and sisters suffering when the belly fat, and at the end of the day, they don't care if our next man get, and they're telling you hold on. They're telling you hold on. At the end of the day, that is what I hate. And I want the people at Trinidad and Tobago to understand that. So it's not that the government, yes, I dislike the government, because they lie to all of us. But more importantly, them who spurring on the government lying for them. And that is what I hate. And they're trying to turn it into a we against them battle. I have no problem or issue with Lyndon Mac. Lyndon Mac, if Lyndon Mac can't get a woman and no woman don't want him, that is Lyndon Mac business. If heavy duty at the end of the day he reach a point that he impotent, that heavy duty business. I know, I just saying. That is not my business. I don't care personally about that. But what I care about, or what I dislike, is when a man and a woman behaving in such a way, and then they're saying they're not together. I ain't calling no name. I dislike that. I dislike when man pretending to be not in a relationship with somebody, and they know very well behind the scene, they're hugging up. That's what I hate. But at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, we must be true to ourselves. You see, stitching up your bottom is not a cure for diarrhea. And with that, I will leave the rest of the team to close off.
So, Mr. Jeffrey, we're not going to show the public.
No, let me keep that under wraps. Trinity, let me keep that under wraps. I would like you to hold your tongue righty. Let me keep that underneath wraps a little bit. We have certain things to do tomorrow. Right.
Okay. Well, let me just say my closing comments and then I go in. I'll put little one to bed. I just want to say this. To all the certain individual who keep coming up on social media and talking nonsense about point 14 and Labrie and talking about point 14 so good. I need you to take a walk through the entire of point 14 and see what's going on, because you're talking mess. Right? Point 14 is not looking good as we speak. And point 14 need to be fixed. Right? I know the lady in the parliament, the lady in the parliament, I can never remember she name from St. Augustine, the MP from St. Augustine. She say how point 14 wait money. I don't know what to for that. Please, lady, you need to walk through. You need to come off your high and come down point 14 and take a walk and see how point 14 is, how messed up it is. Because right now we suffering in point 14. Every day is a new homeless. All you need to help us down here, because we two MPs ain't doing nothing. And I might close it contribution.
Right. So we had Trinitons. Trinitons, what's your closing contribution?
Sorry, but it had too much to close. But what I would say is keep vigilant.
Right.
Know that we are all targets. As long as we disagree with what the government intend to do and say they're doing and doing, we automatically become a target. So stay vigilant, stay strong, and stay focused, people. Remember, we will not get change without effort. Effort is important. It's not what we do, it's how we do it. The power of any nation is in its people. Don't make them tell all you otherwise. I done day.
Well, we have Chata. What's your closing contribution here tonight on the program?
Yeah, Mr. Jeffrey. Closing comment here tonight is the people and them have to come. We have to come together and say enough is enough, because everybody's seeing daily what is going on in the country, and deep down in all their heart, all they know is not right. Right? And it affecting all of us. No matter what race it is, it affecting everybody. And it's time for we to put, with our UNC trying to divide us right now, it's time for we to come together and show them enough is enough. Because the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is not to be afraid of the government. Is the government have to be afraid of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And we have to remind them as we put them there. Because apparently like they forget that. You understand? And this thing with ruling with intimidation, we have to show them that ain't working right now for we. And enough is enough. That's my contribution.
And we have the Scorpion from Sandy Grande. The Scorpion from Sandy Grande. Paul, what's your closing contribution here tonight? Come now, man, Paul, this kind of behavior you're getting on with. Candice, what's your closing contribution?
My closing contribution tonight is why this whole thing with Justin Samaru's father, it hit deep. You know, and every time when you're thinking things gonna get better or the government is going to listen to the people, every time when you think something good will happen for once, it's as if nothing at all for the people. I don't know, Mr. Referee tonight are speeches. You see that thing with Justin Samaru father, I ain't lying, you know, it hit my heart there, you know. All that man was doing was grieving for his son, you know. And they spin that whole thing and lock up the man. No, the man got a heart attack. You know it's a heart attack? Ah, Lord Jesus, that is my closing contribution. And to be all, don't forget to pray. That's my closing contribution. Yes, this is enough to tell Jesus.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago, you could join us here back tomorrow. Tomorrow, yes, we are having a broadcast here tomorrow. Again, somebody else will be joining us here on the platform. Somebody from quite America. Somebody that will bring down heaven. Not heaven, but bring hell on the platform. And we ask you that we keep it tomorrow is adult content. Parental discretion is advised. Tomorrow, final day of the showdown is going to take place tomorrow. So to those that are joining us here on TikTok, on Facebook, and on YouTube, we would have seen our viewership would have gone up tremendously on Facebook. Thanks to all of you who are tuning in. And coming up in a matter of months, we will be rolling out a lot of things on through the Workers' Rights platform, where we will be giving out hampers, we will be giving out vouchers, we will be giving out a lot of stuff here. We will, I mean, not plenty, but where we heart could reach. A matter of fact, we'll be doing interviews on the road. We'll be outside there, visible. And thanks for being on this journey with us. To the 1% and them that is listening, or you're seeing that they're going after, or you're kind, they're going after us too. We urge all of you outside there, invest into the workers' rights. Invest. Or you come now, man. This thing is not a joke. My name is Renison Jeffrey. This is the Workers' Rights Platform. Thanks to the team. Thanks to Chatta for being here always. For the Warrior Princess for being here always. And even self, I am not here. Somebody will be here. And we will bring the truth to you. It's better we live as brothers, Trinidad and Tobago, than we die as fools. Thanks for watching. And with that, I am out. Chatta and Candice, well, we will meet again.
Yeah, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago have a safe night.
Yes.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Have a blessed night.
Warrior, we will speak again. Mr. Jeffrey, what's up?
Yeah.
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more, than the right to vote, and one vote for every man and every woman of the prescribed age. Democracy means recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. All that is democracy. All that is our democracy, to which I call upon all citizens to dedicate themselves on this our Independence Day. This is what I meant when I gave the nation as its slogan for all time: discipline, production, tolerance. Our national flag belongs to all of us. Our national coat of arms with our national buds inscribed therein is the sacred trust of all our citizens. So it is today. Please, I urge you, let it always be so. Let us always be able to say with the psalmist, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
This is my fate. If this is the path the gods have truly set me upon, then they will not see me fall.
The gods would set you on the proper path. All you have to do is close your eyes and place yourself in their hands.
And if you are wrong, then I will give your city a great spectacle of blood. Blood and honor. It speaks to the man.
Do you not see it in his eyes? This is a man with dreams of blood and glory.
If this is my fate, if this is the path the gods have truly set me upon, then they will not see me fall.
The gods would set you on the proper path. All you have to do is close your eyes and place yourself in their hands.
And if you are wrong, then I will give your city a great spectacle of blood. Blood and honor. It speaks to the man.
Do you not see it in his eyes? This is a man with dreams of blood and glory.
heat of battle.